Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Friday evening. That can only mean one thing. It's time for your Friday night entertainment from MRC. It's, of course, MRC-X. Yes, I am back. And let's see what fun we have this evening. It's, of course, the Canadian Grand Prix, one of my favourite tracks on the calendar. So hopefully we get an interesting race. For the first time this evening, I am joined by one of our quite long-standing members, also an admin, and someone I classify as I get on really well with, so let's hope we make an entertaining pair on comms. Unfortunately, his biggest downside is he's Lewis Hamilton's #1 fan, but we'll let him off with that one. It's, of course, Kaiser Soze. Good evening, Steve.
Good evening to you. How are you this evening?
I'm not too bad, my friend. Looking forward to this.
Good
I do love this track.
Yeah, I'm not a fan myself. Never quite flowed for me.
It's one of them where, like you say, either works for you or it doesn't. I like the challenge of it. And it's one where I can hook up a really good lap, but I never have any luck in a race. I always seem to end up in an accident.
Yeah, I think I've been in the wall here quite a few times myself, to be honest. Quite often in qualifying sessions as well.
To be fair, I think I would say I've DNF'd it once, and that was in the wet. But other than that, I've usually done all right to avoid DNFs at least. Who's our first car on track?
Yeah, I'm following Colin at the moment. He's relatively new, I believe.
It looks like it, yeah.
Relatively quick, also. I'm pretty sure. I've never got a good memory. I never paid too much attention, but I'm pretty sure he was linked up as my teammate the other night.
I'm a bit out of
lightning quick
practice on who's who these days anyway, so I've missed a few of them. So we'll go with Baby Hornet when he makes it round. He's just coming down the back straight. Fun fact, it's where the start-finish line used to be, where he's just passed. If you go back to the 80s, that was the start-finish line, and then obviously they ripped the pits down and rebuilt them where they currently are, and moved the start-finish line at the same time. So here we go.
I can't quite remember that.
He's just the curb there, but don't get too greedy. Locked up a little bit for turn 2 and ran a little bit wide, but I think he's going to recover that. Turn 3, you've got to spot your braking point, which is quite hard because the boards are super small here. Nice amount of curb for 3, and sweeps through 4. 5 is looking pretty good as well, and into the braking zone at the end of the first sector. Again, you can hook curb there, but don't get too greedy on the power or it will spit you into a wall. First DRS zone down the back straight. If you're really unlucky, you will brake wrong for this and end up in that nice big runoff. He seems to have avoided doing that and is on a nice run down to the hairpin now. Just passing under the bridge, and there we go, spotting his braking point and locking up big time into the hairpin, leaving a nice number 11 on the track. Now coming up for the fastest part of the track, the back straight. DRS is going to open now, and it's just a long run. Pull over to the left when you get towards the end, spot your braking point, and through the final chicane, avoid the wall of champions, and let's see what time he gets. Not going to be the quickest, but it's good, at least a bank a lap of 15.3. Colin 11.8. Well, you said he was quick. He's certainly just proved that one.
I mean, admittedly, we got a different tyre set there, but that's a quick lap.
That is a quick lap because I think Smith was on the softs, and he's 2 seconds ahead of Smith. So it's going to be an interesting battle, this one, with it being full qualifying. It's literally going to be who's the bogeyman, because only one of them is going to go out.
This is interesting. I'm on board with Bergen at the moment, and he's on his first flying lap on a set of intermediates.
Yeah, some of the higher tier guys do like doing that, so they don't waste a set of softs. That shows they're confident on getting to Q3.
Yeah.
That's like, I'm not going to waste my good tyres now. I'll just get a sighter in. It's the esports style, isn't it? They all do that. Go out on a set of inters, get a banker in, then you've at least got something to work against on the clock. Speaking of inters, here comes Calvin, 13.7 on intermediates. Disgusting time.
Yeah, that's pretty good going indeed.
Let's have a quick look at YouTube chat, because I can see Scottish friend has just popped up with a nice message for me. So let's see who else we've got on there tonight. We have Martin. Good evening. Not feeling my freshest after my little warm-up drive. Yeah, he's just come back from, was it Spain or something he's been in? A long drive back, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Tim Jansma says Colin is the best. And of course Scottish Ninja says good evening Simba, you big dunderhead. Lovely bit of Scottish chat for us there.
That could be about to change, that Colin is the best, because Ugoni's just about to finish his first flight.
Yeah, I've just jumped on with Ugoni to see what... Oh no, 9.9. Filthy times.
That authority.
Let's go have a look at our glorious founder, Mr. Single Track. See how he's getting on. Just coming to the end of the first sector. Oh, and he loses it. Not a good start. Okay, Gebby Gabby. He's invalidated. Woomax. Is he on a lap? I would assume so, because it doesn't say out lap and he's not invalidated, so let's see how Ilian gets on for the evening. Well, on his first run at least. Good first sector time.
Yeah, Wimax is normally quite quick.
He's just gone through, switching through the corner where I crashed out in the wet. The only time I actually ever remember DNFing this track.
It's yeah, like I say, I find this track quite difficult, and in the wet, yeah, I don't think I've actually survived a wet race around this track, to be honest.
There was a race a couple of seasons ago in Tier 3 I reserved because I was in Tier 2 at the time. Took pole on a set of mediums, and at the start of the race they put us on dry tyres and it was spitting.
Oh.
The first 3 laps were like ridiculous, and then it just instantly, it was drying up pretty well, so there was no point pitting for intermediates, because those that did ended up quite far back and barely caught up. They just started to get past, say, the first 3 or 4, and then you needed to dries again. So as long as you could survive them first few laps, it worked out for you.
Yeah, yeah. Max is seems to be a little bit slower. I don't know if this is a warm down lap or still on the
I think it's going to be a warm down lap, because he's done a good lap, 11.8.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, compared to Agoni, it seems super slow, but I think Armar's just started a lap, so...
Yeah, I was just going to say, yeah, it's just literally started now.
He's got a few lock-up issues going on as well. It's not an easy track to do with no ABS, I can definitely say that.
Yeah, it is pretty tricky. I find it quite tricky just on the traction as well, especially out of this corner. Very easy to lose my back end round there.
Oh yeah, especially in the wet. I mean, I wasn't even on the power and it just spearheaded into the wall on the right hand side. But that's, I suppose, where you're on throttle and you off throttle dips come in. I must have had mine a little bit too high for the conditions and it just went bye bye. Which was annoying because I was having a good fight with Red Car Rambo at the time as well.
Yeah, it always happens when you're having a good race as well. That's the pain about it. Right, let's have a look. Armour, yeah. Armour's still on sort of mediums, I suppose. I'm sure it's going to...
Mr. Dynamite on a set of intermediates. Improving in the first sector. I think he's about the only person that's actually really out there at the moment. Although there is Bit as well. How's he getting? He's invalidated.
Unfortunate.
So the only person that's probably on a relative lap is Kid Dynamite. Agoni's coming back out, so we'll keep an eye on him for when he goes round and watch a lap from MRC's Master.
It's interesting you're going back out at this stage.
I know, I don't think I'd bother personally.
No, I mean, you've got to make it big Q1. There's no doubt if he doesn't go out again. Oh, I think, yeah, I think Kid just invalidated the lap.
Oh, final chicane as well.
Yeah.
At least he didn't land in the Wall of Champions.
No.
I mean, he is
Visited
a
that
past
time.
champion, so he's eligible. If you're not a champion, you're not allowed in the wall. Well,
Right. I think.
I'm hoping not to jinx myself there, because I am a champion and I've never landed in that wall.
Well, you said it now. Got to be wary next week.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it, to be fair. It's my Japan's probably my favourite with this closely behind, and Japan didn't go too well. It was going well, and then we had that started in the rain, was going to dries, and I pitted early to try and get an advantage on the dry tyres because they were coming in, and got a little bit too curb happy and throttle happy at Degner 2 and landed in a wall.
Oh no.
Oh, bye bye wheel, see you later. It's the only race I've actually...
I think, sorry, go on.
The only race I've actually done this season where I didn't score points. Because I have missed a few, unfortunately.
No, I've had quite a few non-points races this season, but I'm with you on Japan. That's another invalidation, unfortunately, for kids. Yeah, I'm with you on Japan. That's one of my favourites. Jeddah's probably up there for me as well. And I just like the way the flow, the speed, the fast corners.
To be honest, I do like the way Jeddah flows, but I just don't like the track as an overall, because I don't like street tracks.
Right.
I'm a little bit too clumsy at times for the walls. I need to be a little bit more precise. How I finished Monaco, I still do not know. Granted, I did have a smashed wing on the final lap.
Well, even if you made it to the final lap with only just a wing, then that's still a major feat at Monaco.
My Jeddah race wasn't too bad. I probably was on for a podium, although the final lap didn't go too well, but I was on for it, so the pace is coming back.
Yeah, I think I'm getting more comfortable with the feel of the game at the moment, but I still need to find a bit more pace.
I need to find something. Motivation would help. That's what I'm lacking, it's motivation. So it's like I get home on a Wednesday and it's like, right, I best go do a few laps. So I'm doing like 4 or 5 laps and that's it for my practice.
Yeah.
I am absolutely doomed when we come to something like Qatar or Las Vegas because I've never learnt them properly.
I was going to say, it's been a while actually since I've gone round Vegas. It feels like ages since
I haven't got a clue how to do Vegas without a line. I ain't even got a clue how to do it with a line. And Qatar, I always get lost.
See, I quite like Qatar. That's probably one of my top tracks as well, to be honest. Again, I think it's the faster corners. They just agree with me more.
I like how the track flows. I just get lost trying to pick out my braking points and which corner's which, and it's too much of the same. It all looks too similar, and I'm like, oh, where do I go?
Yeah. Gabby's just jumped up to 8th on his fastest lap from about 13th, 14th. So not bad going. Funnily enough, Ant is in the drop zone at the moment, which I don't expect to stay that way for too long. But
well, he's on an out lap, so he's giving it one shot. He's going for an all or nothing, which is a confident strategy.
Yeah.
At least he's gone early enough that if he invalidates, he's got time to do another run.
Yeah, he should have. Just how much battery will he have left at that point?
Well, hopefully if you invalidate, you do it early in the lap.
Yeah.
But any lap's probably better than no lap, and an ant lap is going to be quick anyway.
Yeah, he's quite nippy.
He's definitely not slow.
No.
Are you still in tier 1 yourself?
I am at the moment, yeah. I'm debating what to do next season, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes at the end of the season. I've got points here and there, but it's. I think last season I felt more top 10, top 15 maybe, but this time round I feel like I'm more in the bottom 10 to 15 instead. So yeah, we'll see how it goes as the game season pans out and how much more used to the game I get, I suppose.
That's the thing, innit? When a game comes out, it's like you can play it offline and it's like, yeah, I love this game, I'm really quick on it, and then you go up against the guys in MRC, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
actually, I'm really, really slow.
Yeah.
I had the same thing with 23 because I had the beta, thought it was doing really well with it. The game came out, I did the story mode and everything, went no assists, I'm like, yeah, I feel really good. Went into a practice session, I was like 3 seconds off the pace.
Oh.
And I was going, that's when I was going to tier 1 as well, I'm like, oh my god. I'm 3 seconds off the tier 4 drivers.
Yeah, I think I was in a similar situation when I finally got to tier 1. It was, I'm pretty sure it was at the start of, must have been at the start of 23. And I started the game with the, like yourself, with the no assist and all that, and then it was immediately into tier 1, and I was like, holy crap.
All went up the same season.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Glad you got a memory for it, my dates and all that. Well, I've spoken about it on stream before.
He and him won the constructors. And
that was the end of season 10, wasn't it? 10
yes.
or 11. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was 10. Because we won the constructors, you and him had the title battle.
Yeah.
Because me and you had that epic showdown at Brazil.
That's it, Brazil, yeah. Yeah, well, I remember that.
I'm trying to obviously defend from you was to give him the advantage to run off, but without causing you any issues at the same time.
Oh, the biggest nightmare for me on that race, to be honest, was Night Shadow.
Yeah,
he was like a defensive wall on that race.
Yeah, you eventually got past me and then ran into him.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I got to the point where I couldn't defend without being reckless, and I didn't want to be reckless, so I just let you go in the end.
Yeah, no, I did mess up that championship, I think, because it was nice that it came down to the last race, and it could have gone a few ways, and yeah, never mind, onward and upward.
These things happen. I had a few chances before I actually got one, and season 6. I got absolutely annihilated by Bergen all season, so I was basically best of the rest. Got promoted to tier 2 in season 7 and just did nothing. I ended up back in tier 3 in season 8, and that's when I won. Right. And I won X the same season. I don't think I've won a race since.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've had a win. I think mine was in tier 2, I think, at Japan. Yeah, I think it was Suzuka. That was the last time I managed to get over the line first. Well, yeah, it must have been tier 2, yeah. The only one since being in tier 3. But yeah, that season 6 was my first season with MRC, I think.
Yeah, that does sound familiar.
Yeah.
Because at one point Avinash was a big pain in my butt. Then you were a big pain in my butt. Everybody seemed to be a pain in my butt that season at one time or another.
No, there was some good racing throughout those, well, quite a few seasons I seem to recall overall. I remember I was in tier 3 from 6 till, I think it was 6 till 10.
Yeah, because 9 was when you won. You won the season after me. Because didn't you win both in the same season like I did?
Yeah, I think I got X and yeah, and tier 3.
Becoming you were the third person to do that. Sabi did it first, I did it second, you did it third.
Oh, game on. I'm happy with that.
I think maybe Wookie's done it as well.
Yeah, I'll have to check on there. We post it all up, don't we, on the
it's looking like a girl. He might be doing 3 this time.
Well, yeah, I mean, guy is on another level. I mean, everyone's pushing now, and he's still on a, you know, what's that, a good second and a half.
Yeah. That's mental pace.
It's crazy.
It's like
crazy.
He's got ERS, DRS and everything, and everybody else is driving around in F2 cars.
Yeah.
It looks like
the time trial the other night and saw his time on there, and I think the closest I could get was just over a second, and that is the closest I've ever been. But the lap he's put in there at the moment is probably a tenth quicker than what I've managed on my very best in time trial, which again is way quicker than qualifying anyway.
Well, there we go. It looks like Geke Matthew is the one being eliminated. Kid Dynamite and Calvin both did their laps on intermediates. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, Kid's cutting it fine.
Well, both of them are. That's just showing off in my book. Martin says, who got a purple middle bit? Shame I missed the last corner by about 50 metres. Yeah, I'm sure that happened to me and him in practice once, and I think I sent him into the pit lane. Erwin De Haas says Colin Beast, and Smith says evening boys. Smith's been with us a long time now as well.
Yeah, been around quite a while now.
Pretty sure he joined during F122, hence why his name's Smith F122. There we go, straight back out for Q2. I would not expect anybody to be running intermediates this time round.
No, can't see it happening. There might be still possibly some chances on a set of mediums, or maybe at least the first run, but...
In the first runs, maybe inters or mediums. Late runs, there'll be nothing like that. It'll all be softs and game on.
So, let's have a look. Let's have a look at some names. I'm just trying to figure out who we're going to possibly not see in Q3.
Yeah.
There's some pretty fast names in there, to be honest.
Right, looking at the names here, I'm possibly going to go with, obviously no offence to anyone, Smith, maybe Bit. The others I'm finding it hard with, possibly Bergen, but I'm not sure if we've seen his true pace or not yet. And obviously because some guys ran on intermediates and some guys probably only ever did one run that might not have been good. Or they did the second run on a used set. I don't think we've seen everybody's best yet. I mean, come on, Baby Hornet was up in P2. When does that ever happen?
I got to say, I don't know if we're going to talk about the liveries or not, but I'm loving Colin's tribute there.
Yeah, let's have a quick look. Colin. Oh, is that the Gulf Williams style?
Looks like it, yeah.
Or Gulf McLaren, they've both done it.
Yeah.
Let's see who else we've got. We've got Gevy Gabby. Shiny. I know the liveries are quite limited on this game as well, so I've probably got none because I don't bother. Smith's gone full army style. What's he got on? I can see pink. Is it black?
Calvin's got a bit of a kick feel to it.
Baby Hornet's gone with a very silver looking car. Kid Dynamite, gold and purple and black. I quite like Kid Dynamites as well. Oh.
Just got Lorpy gone round.
Yeah, I've just gone to our... Woomax has gone with his green. It's got a feel of Jaguar to it, but I think it's more the Bulgarian colours. What he's actually done it for. Calvin's is quite good. And then Ant's Portugal type colours, I'm guessing. Okay.
No, I think that's supposed to be a nod to, I think he said it was Hamilton's 07 McLaren when he had his first pole and win.
That was quite a dominant car, to be fair, was that 07 McLaren.
Yeah, it was a good one.
I mean, it was mainly that ridiculous battle between Alonso and Hamilton that cost either of them the championship. They were both on for it and they'd lose out by 1 point to Raikkonen because the car stopped squabbling between them.
Yeah, that was a tough year.
It was an impressive year from Hamilton, I must admit. First year and he's in title contention.
Yeah, not bad for a rookie, was it really? But
the problem was Alonso didn't like getting spanked by the rookie.
No, that didn't go down too well at all. He thought he was going to be the man, didn't he, at the team? And yeah, Hamilton came in and stood on his toes a little bit. Because
I know Alonso's a really nice guy now and he's funny and everything else. But back then he was a bit of a tit, let's be honest.
Yeah, I must admit, didn't used to like him much. He was a bit of a petulant child. Didn't get his way, he'd kick his toys out the pram about it, definitely.
I mean,
But
they're all like that at times.
Yeah. I mean, I remember Schumacher back in the day. I couldn't stand him because he was so sort of arrogant. He never seemed to talk to the press. And then he came back from Mercedes to sort of help him out, and he was like a changed man. It was, you know, quite chatty, quite pleasant, you know, to sort of listen to talk and that. Quite different character altogether.
A lot of the reason he wouldn't talk to the press very often is because he was getting sponsored by German TV and had almost exclusive rights with them. I was a Schumacher fan.
No, I do remember that as well, because like Channel 4 or whoever it was, probably BBC back in the day, weren't allowed to sort of approach him or anything. It was all...
Yeah, it started on BBC,
German
then
cameras.
went to ITV.
Yeah, then Channel 4.
Yeah, I was never a fan of the Channel 4.
It's the only one I watch now, to be honest. But I can't be doing with the bunch of them on Sky.
I would watch the Sky one. I like to watch it live. Some of them are a little annoying at times, but I can't be doing with the whole Channel 4's multiple hours behind and then you only get highlights.
Oh yeah. I think the highlights, I mean, most of it is covered, to be honest. Most of the time they tend to give you most of the race, but for me, I think, you know, it's easier just to get it all recorded and then watch it later on in the evening if it's not on stupid o'clock. It's annoying, like you say, like, excuse me, Canada's on at silly o'clock on Channel 4.
Yeah,
so
because
I'll have to
obviously...
wait until the following day, and then you've got to try and avoid all news and everything for an entire day.
Obviously the race isn't... Canada's not on till like 7, 8 o'clock at night anyway.
Yeah.
I've got up early for some of them as well at times.
Back in the day, maybe. Not for me now.
I don't think I got up for all of them this year though. It depends how it falls on my weekend for work as well. Because if I've worked the Saturday, I really don't want to be getting up stupidly early on the Sunday.
No.
When it's my only attempt at getting a couple of extra hours.
And if you're on at the weekend, is it ever both days or is it just one or the other?
Just one. We're never open on a Sunday.
Right.
So you work alternate Saturdays.
Oh, okay.
I know there was a patch this time. I think there were 3 early ones in a row. I don't think I got up for any of them, or I got up for one of them and gave up with the other 2. Because they fell on working weekends. I'm not doing that to myself.
Yeah. I think I'm on with Bergen at the moment. I think if I'm reading this right, he's just done Purple Sector 2.
Let's have a quick look and then I'll jump back to Martin, who's looked to be on an improving lap. His first sector was definitely quicker. But we'll see how Bergen gets on in his black and gold machine.
Whoa. Threw it round that last chicane.
That's the thing with this track, you've got to build your confidence. If you're not, pardon my French, balls to the wall, you're not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
I think Martin's given up on that lap. He's either had an issue or something. He seems to be a lot slower down the back straight. He's going in the pit. Nope. I think he's coming round to start a fresh one. See how Ant's getting on. It's good to see the etiquette as well. There's a lot of people getting out of the way to make sure they're not impeding laps.
Yeah, I think the awareness in the league at the moment is on point. To be perfectly honest, it's I've noticed that a lot in qualifying sessions and race as well. Just you know, the respect on track, the lack of incidents, etc.
Yeah, I mean, I've raced, 4 or 5 times this season. There's only really the other night I could have a bit of a complaint about. Oh, in Monaco, where I got took out at turn 1, but the guy then left the league anyway, so it didn't matter. I think he took everybody out and knew what was coming, so he just gave up on that one.
Yeah, no, I watched that on the stream, and that was just lost Remax coming around the hairpin, I think.
Yeah, I got took out. Mark got took out and retired, and several others got took out. And all of a sudden, he'd actually lapped me.
Right.
got about 10 seconds down the road, and then all of a sudden his car pulled over to one side. Like, well, he's retired. Why? His car's still moving.
Yeah.
So I managed to at least finish all the laps of the race.
Yeah, that was quite interesting to watch, to be honest, because you know, like as pretty much every single person that was passed had some sort of contact. You know, some impact, some not, but the overall standard was quite shocking.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, I don't watch the races like I used to. I must admit, I'm not overly up on it at the moment. Mondays I'm out anyway. Wednesdays obviously I race tier 3. Occasionally we watch Extreme, but not all the time. And then X, if I'm not busy with something, I'll watch it. But I'm not as religious as I used to be.
Yeah.
At one point I didn't miss a race, and if I did miss a race I'd watch it back, and I think for me I overloaded on MRC and racing in general, and it put me off to the point I was ready to give up completely.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of stopped racing last season. Just give myself a break, and I'm trying to work back into it, but I've no motivation at the moment. I'm at the point where it's starting to come back. I'm starting to enjoy the races again, so maybe I'll start to find the motivation to practice and get faster.
Yeah.
I would like another trophy next to my name, I must admit.
Yeah, another one would be nice.
It really would. Go from 2 to 3. Problem is, if I win tier 3, then I'm a bit stuffed because I can't do Mondays.
Oh right, so yeah. Could you get away with Extreme then?
I'd have to learn no ABS.
Oh right, yeah.
I've been no traction since the start of F124, but I keep putting the ABS back on. Because when you're getting 3 or 4 laps practice, I don't think it's ideal.
No, not me. I mean, when I first ever joined the league, I came into it originally with myself, no assist, because I'd not really done it much before that for quite a few years. So I thought, well, I'll jump in at the deep end and just learn that way. And then when I joined the league and I realised what assists were available, during probably the first 4 or 5 races of my first season, I think the ABS was on, medium traction control came on, and something else, I can't remember what it was, something else I'm sure I turned on as well. And then I spent about three or 4 seasons getting round to turning everything back off again.
Yeah, it takes a while, that's the problem. I've never ran no ABS. I came into the league with, I think, medium traction ABS. When I joined, obviously it was a no-line league. It probably was when you... No, we had tier 4 when you joined.
I came in tier 3, but there was no line allowed in tier 3, 2 or 1. I remember that much.
When I joined, it was just 3 tiers. There was no MRC-X, there was no Extreme, no tier 4. It was 1, 2 and 3, and you had to be no line. That was the stipulation.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it was a big shock to my system when it happened, because where I'd only just got really, I'd only been playing it maybe 6 months before joining the league, getting back into it, and all that time I'd had the line on just because I thought, you know, I need it. And then when I came in, I think Hungary was my first practice track. That's when I realised, rather than having the line, you can just look at curbs or marker boards, whatever. And then realistically, you're just refining slightly your turning points. You've just got to pick your braking and turning point rather than just looking at a line, which is not necessarily the fastest way around the track, ultimately.
not always, especially not if you're in a battle with someone.
No.
You can't follow that sat-nav if you're in a battle with someone. It just does not work. You can't have more than one car on that line, and you need to allow space for other cars. The problem is people end up line blind.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Just glued to that green line.
But yeah, I joined in season 4.
GPS or something.
Season 4 I joined, and I joined on, I can't remember what day of the week it was. I joined, and there was a practice session the next day, which was like my induction, test, as it was, because obviously we used to put people in practice sessions and whatever, or races. So there was a practice session and a race after it for a fun race in the off season.
Right, okay.
Because it was, I think it was the August bank holiday or something. And I had 24 hours, if that, to try and learn no line and race Australia.
Oh, lovely. Not a great track really to do that for the first time.
And it was the older version of Australia as well, not the new version.
What are your thoughts on that? Prefer the old or the new now you've sort of done it a few times?
I prefer the middle section of the new. I think it flows better. But when you come off, you've got the fast chicane of, is it 9-10 these days?
Yeah. And
your DRS straight. I preferred the old corner at the end.
Yeah.
I don't like that new corner. They widened it off, but they made it the apex too tight. I really don't gel with that. I preferred the old final sector, how it was. I must admit, I do prefer the new turn 1. I think it's a little bit easier. Because I always used to invalidate or spin or something at turn 1.
Yeah, turn 1 was always a nightmare for me. And the turning point on that, I always got that really wrong. And I found that was one when I was learning no line before my first race there. I did find that one real tricky when the line was off. Turn 1, I was invalidating God knows how many times, and then if I made it, I'd knock it on the wall coming out of turn 2. Just on with,
Womax has just invalidated coming out of the final corner as well.
I think. Oh no, Smith's given up. So yeah, looks like Smith.
Also, Bits actually just proved me wrong. He's scraped through to and Bergen.
Nicely done. Yeah, nicely done.
Although I did say with Bergen, I don't think we've seen the best of him yet. But I didn't
be happy with that.
I didn't expect to see single track in the bottom 5.
No.
And Baby Hornet, after his pace earlier, I didn't expect him to be that low down.
Funny, we've got Ugoni at the front still. What was that?
Yeah,
still
that's...
about 1.5 we're looking at there, really, aren't we? 1.5.
It's only half a second this time.
No, just 0.5, of course it is.
Obviously the pace has improved at the front. Ant's a lot quicker, but Calvin's a lot quicker now. He's actually put the correct tyres on the vehicle. Let's have a quick look at our dropout 5 before we go into a 12-minute final shootout. I'm assuming it follows real timings.
It should do, yeah.
If I remember right, that's 18, 15, 12. We've already done the big 2.
This is a two run and go, really, isn't it? This last one.
Yeah, it's literally run in, swap, back out again. Okay, we're going to get some result list. No, we're not, apparently. Has this all started glitching and going wrong? Because I'm just sat in a pit lane at the moment.
I've just got the pit lane come up.
And Martin says he didn't turn a wheel till 6 o'clock and it was 5 laps. That's my usual practice. So our top 10 shootout is between Bergen, Bit, Colin, Agoni, Gebby Gabby, Amar Red, Lorpy, Saviour, Calvin and Ant. I know we lost Smith, single track, Baby Hornet, and I can't remember the other 2. Sorry, we didn't get a list.
Yeah, sorry, I could have opened my mouth then. The list did pop up on my screen after the session, but I didn't realise you couldn't see it.
Either that or the list did pop up and I fell asleep. But never mind. See what the
get on track.
Yep, should be first blood to Bergen. I think he just wants to see his name P1 before Agoni gets out there. I always like getting out early in a qualifying session just so I can go P1 before I end up P20.
Yeah, it's nice to see all those purple sectors pop up, isn't it?
Although Jeddah the other day, I did my first run on mediums and I did 2 fast laps. was on my lap back to the pits. Now it's like I fell asleep and forgot what corner I was on. I thought I was on the fast flowy section. I wasn't. I was on the bit where you come off the hairpin after the first sector. You go around a couple of corners, don't you? Then you've got that tighter chicane. In my head, I'm further down the track in the DRS zone. I went straight into the wall. Like, no! I got P10 on mediums. I think I had potential for being top 3 on that.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Because I had such good pace on mediums, I think with softs on, I'd have gone even better.
Yeah.
But I just kind of zoned out, forgot where I was on the track, thinking I'm in the fast sector, and ploughed it into a wall. Because I said in the party I was in, I'm like, wait, watch me get reported for this now. Somebody thinking I've thrown it into a wall on purpose, because it would have looked like that. With the way I just kind of drove straight into a wall. But it wasn't, it was the fact I wasn't paying attention properly. Thought I was in the fast sector. I actually turned like I was in the fast sector where you go right, left. So I turned to the right, carrying a lot of speed, thinking I'm in that fast bit, and just went, oh, wall, damn.
Oh dear. It's just a lapse of concentration for even a second or two in this game. Just can proper mess you up.
Oh, maybe I'll find some motivation to practice this weekend, especially with it being Canada. Because I do like Canada.
Probably do the Sunday night session that we normally go.
I think that's what threw me for Jeddah as well. We had no Sunday night session.
Oh yeah, because there wasn't enough people, was there?
He'd put up about a Thursday one, and I was expecting a Sunday one to come.
Yeah.
Because I'd always thought, I'll do the Sunday session because I could do with a few laps at Jeddah. It's not my favourite. The session never came, and I never made my own and did it. I was just like, okay, 4 laps before the race and we're done.
Yeah. Nice.
I got P4 out of it. I can't complain too much.
Yeah, can't grumble.
I'm getting further up.
That's it. It's the only ways forward. Bit just put himself in 3rd, but then just been bumped down to 4th.
See how Colin does. He's just come through the final corner. 10.6. Provisional P3. Obviously Bergen's lap attempt at going P1 temporarily didn't work out.
No. I wonder if anyone else is going to get themselves into the high 109s at all.
I think there's somewhere potential here. I mean, Calvin's, you can never count him out really, and Ant's very quick when he wants to be.
Yeah.
Saviour I don't think is fully adjusted to the wheel yet, so we're not getting the best out of him. He's still good in a race situation though.
Yeah, so he's always pretty consistent as well. Don't seem to have too many on-track problems at all.
Speaking of which, it looks like he's going for another run, so maybe... apparently Bergen and Saviour both had identical spins in the same corner. Mr. Hills has just informed us. Let's see how Saviour gets on anyway. He's on a lap. Oh! Lost it coming out of turn 2.
No.
And there goes his end plate. Just as you start bigging him up, he goes and slams it in a wall.
Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate.
I think Ant might be going for another run. He's just gone half a tenth quicker in the first sector.
Yeah, I don't know if that would have thrown him off a little bit, but he's I've been watching him on board and he's definitely on a run. I didn't see the last split difference that you just mentioned, but I'll keep my eyes peeled.
What we got here? Still about half a tenth.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's lost a slight amount, but negligible difference. It just depends how much he goes gung-ho on this final chicane.
Yeah.
I have noticed with this game you can really cut that corner if you do it on the right angle.
I found this out yesterday, even that line just then that he takes, it's a good line, but you can pretty much throw your whole car over it and get away with it somehow.
He clearly didn't that time, he got invalidated from it, but yeah, you've got to cut the right more than the left.
Yeah,
If you cut the
you
left-hand
can't do
curb
the
too
left.
much, it invalidates you straight away. The
Yeah.
right-hand curb, as long as you've got two wheels on the track, you tend to be able to get away with it.
Yeah.
And you sort of straight line the corner at that angle, turn away from the wall of champions and boot it down the straight.
Yeah, I only worked that out after about an hour on track the other night. That was my first practice session. I always do a time trial just to get a feel for the track and the braking points and refine that, and then take that into a Grand Prix session and what have you. But yeah, I found that out maybe 5 minutes towards the time I was due to finish, that you can cut it as much as that. It's only me about 2 or 3 attempts at the end of the lap, I think, from trying to take it clean.
Yeah, I need to do a few laps and try and find a good setup for this track. The one I had previously was awful. I have raced this track on this game in a fun race. I was qualifying alright, but in the race I was just nowhere. Nowhere at all. We're like, okay, what's going on here? I had no temperature in my tyres at all.
I'm still struggling with that, the temperatures. I can't seem to get a lot of... Mine don't seem to go above around about 90 most of the time.
That seems to be optimal on this game. If you look at when you're on TT, it hasn't maxed out as in 91, 92, so that must be the optimal. Because previously
right, okay.
they've always been maxed out at 100.
Yeah.
Whatever TT runs your tyres at is the optimal temperature.
Right.
Because that's the thing with TT, you get optimal temperature, no tyre wear, obviously optimal track conditions, everything is perfect. Endless amount of ERS.
I don't normally look at the actual tyre temps and stuff when I'm in a time trial, because as you say, where it's all set like that, I just think, well, stuff it, I'll just blast it as, loads of laps getting in.
I only notice if I've got my dashboard on. If I've got my dashboard app up, it tells me the tyre temps, and I know it was 100 on previous games, and it's something like 91, 92 on this one.
Right.
So it's like, well, that must be optimal. They've lowered the temperature threshold this time, which is why most of the time you're running in the 80s.
Yeah, it's definitely a struggle.
Oh, I was managing to get one of my rear tyres up to about 100 on Jeddah the other night.
Okay.
What?
Right, there we go. There we go.
That was disgusting, Damiano.
I wasn't even aware he was on a lap, to be honest. I thought I was just waiting for everyone to come out.
We've just followed his lap because he was the only one on one. 108.9 is disgusting.
It is.
You're banned.
Yeah. Thanks.
You're banned from all MRC activity. Go get to esports. The mad thing is,
the times he puts in, they're not far off, to be perfectly honest.
But the mad thing is, the Italian league he races in, he's not won anything in that.
Yeah, apparently he's
about mid-pack.
The fastest, is he? Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
It's like he's what sort of yourself and I was when I was in Tier 1, mid-pack.
Yeah.
At absolute best. Whereas in MRC he's dominated everything. He's probably on for 3 championships this season.
Yeah, I mean it's going to happen. I can't see a reason why not, to be honest.
I mean, I think if he wins this race, he wins the championship anyway.
As soon as that. I suppose, yeah. I keep thinking we've only got what three races left after this.
This is round 9. I think we had 12.
12, yeah.
Let me have a quick look.
I was just going to say, I've got my
standings.
Calendar. Yeah, sorry, I got it. Spain, Austria, Britain. That's the last 3.
Oh, the Britain's a sprint. But it's 30 points ahead already.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is pretty mad.
Won't be enough space for his name on the Discord with all those cups.
No, there really won't.
I thought Ant was on a lap, but I think I'm not sure. I think he might have done an out lap and then a sort of a standard banker, just trying to maybe get a slightly more scrubbed set of tyres on the final run. Some risky weaving going on down that straight as well. Clip the grass a few times. Let's see what it's got. Not got a bad run out of turn 2, to be honest.
It was this we're on board with.
Oh, sorry, I'm on with Ant at the moment. I thought it looked like he'd done sort of two.
My bad, I wasn't paying attention. I was just replying to a message.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, he's let's have a look at the split. Definitely pushing, but yeah, it looked like he went out on a lap and then did sort of almost 2 out laps, maybe just to try and get a bit more warmth into the tyres.
Well, he's looking at a 109 possibly with this lap. Oh, it's going to be a high 110. Calvin's not going to improve, he's already finished. So is Bit, Lorpy and Bergen. So Gevy Gabby's in the pits. See what Ant does over the final chicane.
Oof.
Absolutely sends it on the limit. Yeah. Come on, let's see what we get. 109.8.
Oh, look at that.
Sabia's invalidated, so he won't be finishing. Amar's just coming through, sent it in the final chicane after a little lock up. And he's going to go P6, 110.9.
Oh, nice.
So there we go, we have our top 10. In case the results don't pop up again, we'll go do it now. Agoni, Ant, Calvin, Saviour, Colin, Amar, Gebby Gabby, Bit W, Lorpy and Bergen is our top 10. Hopefully the results do come up so we can cover the others.
Yeah, should do. Yeah, again, another disgusting lap from Eugenie, but it's nice to see someone else getting the 109s. I mean, we're looking at there, top 6. Yeah, apart from Eugenie, there's not a lot separating the top 6 there, really. So I suppose all it is now is just to find out how long into the race even before Ugoni breaks the DRS margin.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's only showing me the top 10 now.
Yeah, that's all I've got at the moment.
Can't even get them on Race Director either.
No, same. Instant pit stops. No, I've got nothing. Standard.
10 people watching apparently. Give us a like, guys. There's 10 people watching, that should be 10 likes, surely.
Yeah, I'll put one on myself.
I don't know how many we're on actually, I need to have a look at that.
I'm only seeing half at the moment.
And one of them's you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm seeing 3. Oh, there we go, 5. So yeah, 5 likes, one of them being Steve, so that's another 6 at least.
Yeah. So now, get sharing.
Now I suppose we sit and wait for 5 minutes because it'll be the 5-minute break.
Oh. Yeah, that's got a burn for the people that went out in Q1 and 2.
Especially Geki, who went out in Q1. Well, he's probably just gone to sleep.
Oh, now hold on a minute. What's this? I've been, yeah, possibly.
We've just had a red flag called.
I think so, yeah.
Woomax is readied up. So we shall go offline and be back shortly.